Hey there Facebook, it is Vanessa here again, your motivational speaker, trainer and head coach from Live, Love, Give. And today I've got a message for you guys, which is ultimately that it's not about how far you go, it's about how high you go. And let me sort of dive into that for you guys and sort of explain what the hell I'm actually meaning by that. And ultimately, I can say it in a different way for you guys, which is it's never really about achieving the goal. It's always about who you become in the attainment of that goal. That's what life is really about. It's about up-leveling to a new level of consciousness on that journey. And what we do with our goals is when we set something for ourselves that we've not yet attained, it means that we have to go on this journey of becoming more than who we are right now, tapping into a higher level of who we can be in order to create a different result that we're looking to achieve in our lives. And that really is what we're all here to do. And a big part of it is really up leveling to, like I said, a new level of consciousness. And where people get really stuck, myself included, I've had this happen to me so many times, is ultimately when we think that, okay, that change that we have to do in order to attain a new set of results, it's like, it's really scary, and we kind of know what's going to happen. We kind of know the challenges that we're going to be faced with if we go in that direction. And who we are right now is just way too scared to even think about making that change, because who we are right now, it doesn't feel like we can handle what those challenges are that will, be brought about by our action in that direction. And so what I want to really reiterate for you guys is ultimately, it may be really scary, making those certain changes in your life right now. It may be really, really scary because of who you are right now. Before you recognize that once you take a step forward on that journey in the direction of what you're looking to attain, you actually become a higher level of yourself. You evolve to a new level. You keep going up and up and up in your level of consciousness, and therefore in your ability to handle the challenges and handle everything that life throws at you. And I want to use a great example here. For many of you who've been following along on my journey, you may have already heard this story a couple of times before, but I think it's a great example of what I'm talking about. So when I went to Date with Destiny for the very first time back in 2013, at the time I was a uni student. I had a year and a half left on a law degree, but with every day that was ticking by, I was getting clearer and clearer that I was on the totally wrong path. I'm somebody who loves learning, and I thought everything that I was learning about in law, like everybody needs to know this stuff. But at the same time, as I was getting closer and closer to the end of that degree, and therefore closer and closer to picturing myself in the lifestyle of a lawyer, I knew it wasn't right for me. I think of myself as kind of like the opposite to a lawyer. And so it was kind of this scenario where I was holding down that feeling. I was suppressing that feeling so that I could keep doing what I was doing, because I had all these limiting beliefs going on, and I also knew the repercussions of what I would be faced with should I choose to acknowledge my fears, and should I choose to go on a different path and journey. I knew that my family was ultimately not going to approve, and even more than that, they were going to think of me as a failure. They were going to be disappointed in me, and all of the different sort of things that we don't want to happen by the people closest to us, the ones we crave the most love from. And ultimately, so my current self at that point couldn't have coped. It couldn't have handled the inevitable challenges it knew were coming from my external world if I chose to get off that path and go in a different direction. But as I went to that event, I got my own coaching, I got faced with the kind of questions that I needed to do, and ultimately I up-leveled myself. I went higher in my level of consciousness around myself, around what I wanted to do, and with that higher level of consciousness, I was able to and trust that I could handle whatever I was faced with in my external world. And you know what happened? After that event, I made the phone call, I quit law, I went on the journey that I'm on right now. I had to tell my family about it, and ultimately my worst fears came true. I was called a failure. I was cut off financially, emotionally, everything from my family. They didn't talk to me for a while. My mum, I've even mentioned, she cut me off Facebook and she deleted me out of her phone. And it was a challenging period of time, but you know what? Because I had up-leveled my level of consciousness by facing the facts, by really tapping into my truth and trusting in myself and taking that courageous first step, I could handle it because I shifted my belief system and I was able to get outside of myself and how that was going to affect me and what that meant about me if my parents called me a failure or whatever. And ultimately I was able to get to a new level of consciousness which reinforced to me that ultimately my family just want me to be happy. At the end of the day, that's what they want for me. It's just that their model of the world is one in which you're only happy if you become a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer, you do something highly academic, and and that's all well and good. And that's when I understood and I was able to get outside and beyond myself and look at it from their perspective, knowing full well that they just want me to be happy, and that's what they're resisting because they think I'm going to go on this path that I'm going to be, totally unhappy on, and so I had to be courageous and centered and strong enough within myself to know, hey, this is the most level of certainty I've ever had in my life about what I'm doing and where I'm going. And just because people in the external world have a different blueprint of the world and happiness than me doesn't mean that I need to follow suit with them. I need to just see their perspective and stay strong and centered on my path. And ultimately over the years, what's happened is that I've shown my family a completely different way of living life that can be, that I can be extremely happy. In fact, I don't think I would ever have been happy on that path of the lawyer's path. So I'm so grateful for that, and expanding their level of consciousness as well is a really, really powerful thing to do. So I want you guys to know that it's never really about the goal. It's never really about attaining that goal. It's about who you become on that journey. And if you really, really want to get to that goal, you've got to recognize that who you are right now, and we are all things, but who you're, the small part of what you're tapping into right now isn't going to get you an outstanding higher level result. So you need to recognize that you need to become a certain type of person in order to attain a certain higher result along that journey. So what I really do and how I work with my coaching clients around a goal that they want to set is I ultimately get them to identify what that is. I take them through a process. I've done a Facebook Live on this, the Ultimate Achievement Blueprint for you guys. I'll try and find it after this video and link it up for you guys. But ultimately, it is one of the sections in going through this process is who do I need to become in order to attain this kind of result? And like I said, it's not about being somebody different to who you are. It's always about being true to who you are. But ultimately, if we're all things, it means that you need to tap into different traits, different qualities in order to get a higher level result. Maybe it means that you need to be more committed, more focused, more determined, more hungry. Whatever it is, you need to identify what that is so that you can start becoming who you need to become in order to get a different result. And that is ultimately how you achieve every single one of your dreams. So I'm really hoping that today's message is valuable to you guys. I'm feeling so much better than I was yesterday. I'm still on the mend. I'm still kind of sick. You can probably hear that. But I've been hearing from a lot of the other fellow Date with Destiny people, attendants, that they've all got the flu. I don't know, it's just lack of sleep, full on energy, hugging 5,000 people every day. It's crazy. So inevitably we're all kind of a bit sick, but it was so worth it. And I think it's this sort of transition, transitioning to a new level of ourselves as well. So definitely want to check in with you guys, and I still haven't got my suitcase yet, but I'm lucky. I've the same size as my mum. So sorry about that. It's got this sticky thing that never sticks. But yes, I've got a new outfit. Yes. I've got Ram and David and Gabrielle and Sam and Gannon and Stephen. You look better than you did yesterday. Yeah, I did get a lot of sleep. I went to sleep at 3 p.m. yesterday and I got up at like 6:30 a.m. today. So I definitely got some sleep in, and it was the best ever. So definitely contributed to my better energy today. Alexandria, awesome to see you. And definitely Ram, always love seeing you here. And Moises and Jamie. And loving that you're loving it, Sam and Adnan. And love that you're finding this truthful, Alexandria. And hello to you, Moises and Hamad and Gabrielle. Oh, always. And Jamie, hi to you. And Alex and Jolene and Madeline. And much love to you, Madeline. Thank you so much. And Muli and Kua and Jeremy and much love to you, Kua and Wyan. And thank you for your kind words there, Kua. And Ram, you have created a much larger and lovely global family by quitting law. Absolutely. Appreciate your courage and conviction. Example for many. Thank you so much, Ram. And absolutely, you know, we have to all go on our own journey in order to discover what it is that rings true for us. And I'm a big believer, which I'll talk into at another stage with you guys, but the mind-body connection never, ever lies, in my opinion. And toward the end of my law degree, I was getting sicker and sicker and to the point where I was in the fetal position on the couch and I couldn't get off it. And ultimately, I think that that's when we ignore our body's intelligence telling us, hey, wake up, you're not on the right path, you're not doing the right thing. And we keep ignoring that and holding that down and keep pretending, and we're not being authentic. Like, our body wakes us up. Something is going to happen to wake us up and wake us out of that trance. So thank you so much, Ram. And Yvette, awesome to see you. And Ricardo and Stan and Selena and Carola, another great video. Thank you so much, and I'm grateful that you're finding value here. And Joshua and Jamie, hope you feel better. Thanks, sending you positive energy. Thank you so much, Jamie. I could do with some more positive energy, really overcome this illness and sickness, but I'm doing so much better than yesterday. Yesterday I was so weak and just, yeah, wasn't great. But definitely all those many hours of sleep have really helped to contribute to me being a whole lot better. And guys, I am absolutely sending you all of my love, light, blessings, gratitude, energy, enthusiasm, everything extraordinary coming to you, to wherever you are in the world today. I hope it's absolutely amazing. I'm going to go head out on a bit of a sightseeing day in my own city of Melbourne with my beautiful mum and dad, and can't wait to just get out and about and check it out. And Dorothea, love your commitment and enthusiasm. Thank you so much. I so appreciate you, and thanks so much, everybody, for being here and for engaging and checking in. I so appreciate each and every one of you. You absolutely light up my day, so thank you so much for being here. And Bruno and everybody else who's just joined me, I really hope you catch the recording, get a ton of value from today's message, and I will see you guys tomorrow.